What's cracking, YouTube? This is Chainlink1TN here, and I'm back again, just like I said in the Cleafort video. I'm back with another deck profile, and today, this deck profile is going to be about Prediction Princesses. This deck sparked my interest after reading its effects, and my girlfriend actually took interest in it as well. And this is actually her deck, and I've just been trying to build it for her to the best of my ability, and just basically just make it playable for her and possibly even competitive. And just before I actually get into this deck profile, I will let you know it is still under construction. As you can see, I only have 3 extra deck monsters in the extra deck at the current moment, only because I'm running low on resources. So I already have a shit ton of spots that are already going to be taken up by different monsters that I already want to be in here. So just bear with me about the incompleteness with this. I apologize ahead of time. And also, at the end of this video, I will get into more detail about like certain combos of this deck that I have already figured out with the current cards inside. And also, please share with me some feedback that you guys have, any suggestions you guys have for this deck, because it's more than welcome, because like I said, this is under construction still. Alright, with that being said, let's get right into it, shall we? First things first, in this deck you start off with 3 Prediction Princess Terratrays, however you want to pronounce it. She's the main card. She's the main bitch of the deck, basically. She actually has a really strong monster. She's 27 attack, 1200 defense. I mean, they're quite impressive stats, really. It's basically Trish status, and it's a level 9. And its first effect is actually, what is it? Basically, it's straight up Seminomi monster. You just have to ritual summon it, and then after that, you can do whatever the fuck you want with it. And its first effect is during the end phase. During your end phase, you can special summon 1 flip effect monster from your graveyard to face down defense on your field every single turn. Every single one of your turns on your end phase, which is fucking awesome already. It's always gonna replenish your field after you just spent some monsters to get to summon it. So that's not bad at all. And its other 2 effects that you can only use 1 each. Or only one of the 2 once per turn, and only once that turn. First one is target a face down monster on the field and flip it to face up attack position. And then the other one is target a face up monster and flip it to face down defense position. So, and it can be during either player's turn, and that's really strong. So that's that. That's her. After that, I've got 1 Crystaldyne. I'm actually thinking about upping this to 2. Just because I saw how this card can be utilized for certain combos and whatnot, that I will actually show you further into this video. So I'm actually probably going to be running this at 2 in just soon. After that, I've got 1 Aerosylph. She basically is your flip effect searcher for spells from the graveyard and the deck, whereas Crystaldyne, I actually did not mention this or explain, sorry about that. This one searches for ritual monsters from the deck and graveyard, and it's a flip effect monster as well. And this one does the ritual spells. I only run 1 of those because I only really need 1. She's the one I don't really need that much. After that, I've got 3 Koinormas. She's a level 3 monster, and what she does is if she's flipped up whatsoever, then you get to special summon a level 3 or higher flip effect monster from your deck to face down defense position. But you cannot activate other monster effects except for Prediction Princesses for the rest of the turn. And that's actually pretty it got a lot of utility for that as well, and that's why I run 3 of her. After that, I run 2 of the Petal Elves, however you want to pronounce it. I only run 2 just because, yes, it's actually a really good card. When this card is flipped up, it puts all of your opponent's monsters into defense position, and they're stuck like that permanently, the ones that are on the field. And that's really strong, but I mean, I only need 2 so I can put more room for others, and it's not like, it's just, these are, all the monsters, all the flip effect monsters are recyclable, so that's why I don't care about seeing these as much often, just because I can always search them out, special summon them and whatnot, and just reuse them from the graveyard as well. Same goes for the last Prediction Princess monster I'm about to unveil, which is Astra Morrigan. This card is actually really strong because after you're done putting everything on your opponent's side of the field in defense, comboed with the Petal Elf, Flip this up, and at the end phase, all monsters your opponent controls in defense position die, get destroyed, and then you get to inflict 500 for each one that got destroyed. That's really powerful. It's the stun burn part of the deck. And that's it for all the Prediction Princesses. I'm going to go into the non-Prediction Princess monsters. And I hope you guys enjoy the text that I put in here. And starting off, I have Herald of Ultimateness. And I made a combo with this, which is why I want to run the Crystaldyne at 2, so I can see it more often, because that will ensure me getting fairies in my hand to fuel this monster's effect to negate whatever the fuck I want, special summons and effects both. After that, I have 2 Shaddoll Beasts, because I run a Shaddoll Core engine in this. A Shaddoll engine, sorry, not Core. Shaddoll engine in this. It's not too big of a Shaddoll engine, but I'm actually going to be upping the count a little bit more. But right now I got 2 Beasts, because again, I can special summon this really easily in face down defense. Use it as discard fodder for certain effects, or just for rituals in general. Get the effects going from that. And just keep on abusing the shit out of it to draw cards and whatnot. And after that, I got 2 dragons for MST power and also compulse power, depending on which effect I use from how I either use it, from either using it as a flip effect monster or just sending it to the graveyard for a ritual summon. And after that, last monsters of the deck, 3 Manjus to search out much faster than just flip effect monsters, because it gets me either the ritual spell, or the ritual monster, whichever I need the most at the current moment. And like I said, these are immediate. As soon as you summon them, bam. And you can always put them face down again and flip them back up and do the same thing all over again. And then going into the spells, I run 3 Prediction Rituals, because this serves as 2 different cards, which is actually really strong, because not only does it ritual summon the Terra Tray, you can banish this from the graveyard during your main phase, except the turn this card is sent there, to search out a Prediction Princess monster from deck to hand. That's powerful. That's awesome. Helps speed up the deck a little bit more because this deck is pretty slow. After that, I've got 2 Pot of Dualities, because you don't really do much special summoning except for the ritual summoning. You're mostly just setting things down and basically just baiting your opponent. So you might as well just search your cards out, get what you need out of this, and call it a day. After that, 2 Stumbling. This card is just nuts in this deck, because you want everything in defense position anyways. And it combos really well with Astra Morrigan, because all your opponent's monsters are going to be summoned in defense. And every time you flip over Astra Morrigan, get ready to see that monster get killed and inflict 500 life points. And just keep spamming that effect, and that's how you basically win. That's one of the many ways you can win with this deck. And Stumbling is just amazing. I might actually up it to 3. 1 MST, because I don't have any more MSTs. I might up it up to 2, but for now I just got 1, because popping power is good. And I still do have the Shaddoll Dragons as MSTs as well, but I just have another MST just in case. And after that, Oracle the Herald to summon out Herald of Ultimateness. And the fact that your opponent can't activate anything in response to this card is amazing. That's it for the spells. Going into the traps, I've got 2 Black Catastrophes.
That's 3.
Oh, I'm sorry, 3. Wow, man, dyslexia, straight up. But thank you, Garrett. But yes, I got 3. Wow, I'm not gonna get over that. I have 3. This is actually a really good card, because it's basically like a battle fader. It sucks more having it on the field than it does engraved, because it does have a graveyard effect as well. Because in the field, you have to have 2 face down monsters in order for you to activate the effect to basically end the battle phase straight up right there. But its graveyard effect is if you control a face up Prediction Princess monster, and then you can you can banish this card to put that into face down defense, and also another monster on top of that into face down defense, beating another one of yours or one of your opponents, this can be activated. The graveyard effect can be activated the second it is sent to the graveyard, which is awesome. I love graveyard effects. They're actually really good. After that, I've got 2 Call the Haunteds, because if somehow your ritual summoned Terra Trays get destroyed and sent to the graveyard, because it has already been ritual summoned and it does not state that it cannot be summoned by other ways, you can always just call a Haunted it back, put it in face down defense if you really need to, so that way if they MST the call, then it's not the Terror Trade does not go with it, basically, because once it's face down, it stays on the field, and that's why I have it in there. After that, 2 breakthrough skills. I used to run the memory loss because it would put the monster into defense, but comboing it with stumbling, it did not work out well, so I turned it into breakthrough skills. This doesn't care what position it's in, so that's why I have these. And again, graveyard, you can activate them from the graveyard. After that, I've got 2 Ojama Trios, because that combos really well with Astral Morrigan. It clogs up your opponent's field, and if you combo it with Astral Morrigan, that's 900 plus 15 damage, so that's 2400 damage right there on the spot, just by going to end phase and destroying all 3 Ojama tokens. That's powerful, really, really powerful. I've won games with that already, and Garrett can attest to that. After that, I've got 1 Bottomless Trap Hole, because it's Bottomless Trap Hole, and finishing up the deck, I've got 1 Vanities, because I don't really do much special summoning. Once I've already special summoned my key monsters, I should say, I could just activate this and not have to worry about anything, because I can just keep on flipping up and down my monsters on the field to keep getting my effects and just basically ruining your day. And then that's it for the main deck, and the only extra deck cards I have here is a Nightmare Shark, a Zen Mains, and a Diamond Dire. Again, I want to add more cards to the extra deck, like for example, that Gusto Emerald is actually really needed in this deck, because even though this is a slow deck, you can eventually run out of resources relatively quickly, and this deck doesn't really have any real ways of getting everything back to the deck, with the exception of, say, actually there is no way. The only thing you can do is recycle your ritual spells and ritual monsters, and that's literally it. So Daigusto Emerald would be a really good card for this deck. Maybe even run it at 2. And then basically your average staples of rank 4 staples and rank 3 staples, which I mostly got all of them, kind of. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this deck. I really enjoy this deck. I've already played it quite a few times. I've built different builds for them on DevPro and whatnot, but this is literally a brand new build I just thought of today, and it combos really well with the Oracle of the Herald and the the Herald of Ultimateness, because you can continuously spam the fact that you can always get back your extra Terra Trace into hand because of Crystaldyne. So basically it'd just be a field of that, getting and spamming the hell out of this the Crystaldyne, and just basically recycling these back to your hand to continuously send them to the graveyard to negate whatever the hell you want, and just get them back during the end phase. Or not during the end phase, but during whenever this gets flipped up, which can be during either player's turn. And then there you go, continuous cycle. And it's worked really well. I've upset a lot of people with that, actually.
But you did almost deck out against my gods.
I did almost deck out. I was actually doing Garrett's god deck with this deck, and I actually had no cards left in the deck, but once I finally got the cards I needed, I gave him Ojama Trio tokens, flipped over for my Astral Morrigan, and basically just gamed him like that, because he had just enough life points for me to game him. So that's what happened. It works really well so far. I love the deck, and it's for my girlfriend because she found a lot of interest in it, so I built it for her. But yeah, like I said, let me know what you guys think. Please like, comment, subscribe, and send me your suggestions. Tell me what I should do to the deck to make it better, or tell me what I did right. Tell me what I did wrong. Say whatever you want to say about it. I'm really looking forward to it, and I hope you all have a wonderful night, YouTube. All right, this is Chainlink1TN signing out. Deuces.